Hey, John Hickok here. You might notice I've got a few sandbags sitting behind me. That's something I've actually been wanting to do for a really long time. As soon as I moved into this new house a couple months ago, I thought, how cool would it be to have an actual sandbag wall to sit in front of, like to do videos, like to do videos in front of, or podcasts and different things like that. But the problem I kept running into was that since my studio is on the second level, it's like one of those bonus rooms above a garage, that like I can't stack a bunch of sand, a bunch of sandbags up here. It's gonna like fall through the ceiling or something. So it was like, how do I, make a sandbag that looks somewhat legit, but yet doesn't cost a ton and is light, And I actually posted something on Facebook, on Hickok 45 and Son Facebook. Some of you guys may have seen, and I actually got a lot of good feedback, a lot of great ideas actually. Um, but unfortunately, some of the best fillers that would be light and everything, and maybe imitate sand a little bit, were just all too expensive. And what I ended up going with was a cedar mulch, and so far it's worked pretty well. I mean, it's not perfect. I guess if you looked at it really close, you could probably tell that maybe it doesn't lay exactly like sand, but I don't know. I think it looks pretty legit, especially for just being on camera. And it was pretty cheap to make relatively. I ordered about 200 sandbags. You're not seeing all of them. I probably got about maybe like 150 or something like that stacked up here. It's pretty big. It actually needs to be a little bit bigger still. It's one reason um, that I'm not. Well, I don't know. I might. I'd like to have it big enough to where I could stand up and do some videos if I wanted to, and still be able to like frame the shot. So it's like just big enough that I can sit down and have a nice frame shot and everything. But I still like it to be just a little bit bigger. But it's not bad. It's not bad for now. It took a long time to build, and actually, the first time I tried to stack them up here, they actually all fell down because there's a window back here, and some of them were kind of caving in to where the window was, and it pushed them out on the bottom, and they all just fell down all at once. It was terrible. It took me like, I don't know, it took me a pretty good while to stack those up there, and they all just fell down this huge pile, that I had to clean up and try to reorganize. And what I ended up doing was I built a kind of like a frame out of a couple of really thin sheets of 4x8 plywood, and nailed those to a couple of what were they, like 8 foot 4x4s. I think I had like three of them, and then nailed them to that. So I've got like a let's see, quick, what's the math on that? I guess it would be 8x8. So I've got like a kind of an 8x8 piece of plywood made out of two pieces behind there, kind of at an angle, and then I stacked them up and kind of leaned them against the back of that. And so far, it's working pretty well. I mean, it seems pretty solid. So we'll see how it goes. It may fall down. I may wake up in the middle of the night to some loud crash or something, and come up here and it's all on the floor. But for now, it's standing up, and I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. If it does it look obvious that it's not real? I don't know. I think it's okay. So yeah, that's fun. I'm looking forward to using that as a backdrop for a long time if it holds together and everything. So just sitting here in my comfy chair, got a little bit of scotch, got some Macallan 12 year. Eric from Iraq Veteran actually turned me on to this when we were in Vegas. We were, what bar was it? We were at one of it was that bar. If you guys have been to the Venetian in Vegas, there's like a bar that they've got in one of the casinos. It's like this, it's like on the casino floor, and it's like this big round lounge kind of bar, whatever. Me and him and a few other people were hanging out there, and he was like, "Man, you gotta try Macallan," and I was like, "All right." And I'd never had it before, and it was great. I think we got the 18 year there. This is just a 12, but it's still pretty good. It's good scotch. I like it. So yeah, I've been working on that a lot. Of course, still been really busy with the baby coming and everything. That's gonna be it's coming up very soon, like a month. That thing's gonna be popping out. So that's gonna be something different for sure. So we'll see how that goes. I know you guys have been on me about getting Derek back on the podcast and all that, and we've actually recorded one, but I just haven't had time. Like I don't have someone to edit anymore, and I just haven't had time to put it together. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to get that done, hopefully within the next week or so. So as you're watching this, hopefully soon that will be coming out. Of course, we recorded that podcast before all this craziness started happening, all the shootings and everything, and the Dallas thing, and the thing in Nice, France, and all that stuff. Like we didn't know about any of that, but hopefully it's still a good podcast and you guys enjoy it. But I'll get that to you guys eventually. I know you want to see more Derek, but he's really busy. You know what I mean? There's only so much I can do. He's a really busy guy. It's hard, and I'm busy too, so it's hard, to find places for our schedules to match up and everything. I'm really hoping that I can get things going enough to where we can kind of like do a show and stuff like we talked about and everything. And maybe we can try to do something more on a full time level with his involvement in YouTube. But just kind of depends. We'll see how that goes. But I'm trying to just bear with me. I'm trying to make something like that happen. It's just just that kind of stuff just takes time. So hopefully we'll be able to do something like that. So yeah, that and I also want to show you something. Show you guys something I picked up recently. I finally bought my very first ever Colt single action, and I grew up shooting these things. Dad, of course, was crazy about them, and I was too growing up. But I never actually owned one, and I just finally, just had to pull the trigger on it. No pun intended. It maybe pun intended. I don't know. I think that's an okay pun to have intended. But it's just a really beautiful gun. It's nickel Colt, 4 3/4 barrel length. It's actually a new one. It's not old. It's a third generation, or as some people call them, fourth generation. Some people call it a fourth generation Colt because it has the removable bushing, just like the first and second generations did. So that's kind of cool, and it's the Long Branch edition of the Colt single action. It's supposed to be kind of I don't know how accurate, but kind of a copy of a gun that Bat Masterson ordered, I think in like 1885. I have to look at the thing that came in the box, but sometime around then, he ordered a gun, and supposedly this is what Colt made and sent to him, and then this is kind of like a copy of that. So I'm pretty happy about it. It's a neat gun. It's not perfect. It's got a couple little things on it. I did get it new. Like for example, you may have noticed whenever I put that hammer down, it's kind of an extra little. It seems to be loosening up though. Kind of extra little thing there. Whenever I load it, the cylinder is like a spot where it's kind of stiff to turn. But I'm kind of hoping that's just going to be kind of a break-in. But I may need to take it to a gunsmith and have them check it out and, make sure everything is good, of course. But for the most part, Colt still does a pretty good job from what I hear on these things. I've read online that the new Colt single actions are just as good as the old ones, if not better. So I feel pretty confident with having a new one. It's pretty neat. And this is my favorite barrel length in the Colt single action. I don't know why, but there's something. Just watch too many westerns, I guess. But I just really like, where the ejector housing doesn't, or the barrel doesn't go past the ejector housing. It's just, I don't know. It's a neat look, I think. So I really like that, and I'll do some videos on that soon. It's a plan, at least. But one other thing I want to talk about too is, so you guys may have seen a show that Zeke did that kind of popped up on the channel called Projectile Dysfunction, and you guys weren't real receptive of it. You weren't crazy. A lot of you weren't crazy about it, and it was kind of an experiment. Zeke had been talking about doing that show for a really long time, and one day finally we got together and just did it. We just kind of really just, he had like a couple of ideas for the sketches already, and he already recorded one of them. We basically just threw it all together within like 2 hours or something like that. And when I watched it over, I thought it was pretty good and everything. But then again, it's hard to. I found when it comes to producing content, kind of like on by yourself or just with a small group of people, it's really hard to see it through someone else's eyes because, like for example, especially if you've known the people for a long time that you do it with, it's easy for the humor to become kind of like inside humor, and stuff like that. And you guys weren't that receptive of it, so it was an experiment. I was like, oh, why not? Let's try it. Probably won't see that show on this channel again. If for those of you who did like the show and want to see more of them, I'll keep you updated on whenever Zeke is going to post them on his channel and stuff like that. But I figured it'd be a cool thing to try, and it was fun to do, and it didn't really hit the mark for a lot of you guys, which it is what it is. That's kind of the neat thing about YouTube, is experimenting and having fun with different things, and taking risks. That's how you discover greatness. When you take a risk, but most of the time you don't discover greatness. Obviously, you discover something that doesn't work. So it was what it was. And probably not going to see that on the on this channel again. So that's that. What else? Yeah, I've been trying to kind of gradually, as always, up the production values and everything. Like right now, you're listening to the audio through a boom mic that I got, so I'm playing with that. I've got some studio lights now. Just trying to up it a little bit, but I still want to increase the production values as I have the money and time to do so, but also want to try to keep the real element alive, because that's one of the things that's been a staple of Hickok 45 that Dad and I have been big on. It's something that we both agreed on early on, that we liked how we could produce the videos and then be very real, and then not take a lot of time to edit, and it was just a very organic kind of feel to the video. There was kind of an organic feel to the videos, and I think some of you guys maybe have picked up on that, and that's something that we liked about the videos, and I think that other people did too. And of course, with the videos that I'm doing on this channel, I wanted to have that same thing, because that's just kind of my philosophy when it comes to producing videos. But I also want to experiment a little bit more than I would be willing to experiment with Hickok 45, if that makes any sense. So try to find a balance there. Well, for example, building the sandbag wall versus using a green screen. That's the kind of thing I like. I like to do stuff real when I can, but I also don't want to, I don't want to produce videos that just look like garbage either. To the best I can, at least. So so I've been buying a few things here and there and trying to make the audio, and we'll try to do better on the audio and the lighting and some different things like that. So we'll see how that goes. And also, speaking of experimentation, I also, as you guys know, I do stand up. I haven't put up any of my new stand up stuff in a while. I just haven't drug a camera along with me to shows or mics or anything, and I need to do that though. I've got a few bits that I could probably show to you guys, so I need to do that sometime before too long. But I've also thought about doing another series, if you guys think you'd be interested in it, kind of like showing my process, kind of like a I don't know, like a poor man's documentary in a way, just to kind of like show the multi-step process of deciding to try to do stand-up comedy, and what kind of things you want to take into consideration whenever you try it the first time, and then kind of like a it's going to be a mixture of showing you like my process, as well as kind of my current process, as well as kind of like where I've the journey that I've taken through trying to do stand up, if that makes any sense. Kind of, so like a video on the writing process, like showing you like how I like write a joke, and then try to come up with an idea, and then try to turn it into a bit, and then go on stage and actually perform it. So I thought it might be kind of an interesting thing for you guys to see, instead of just seeing the joke, for the first time. I thought maybe you guys might find it kind of interesting to see me write the joke and see how it starts out, and then see how I change it, and see which jokes I decide to actually do on stage, or which ones I think aren't good enough, and then show you guys me trying them on stage and seeing if they work, and it puts you in a position where you can kind of like guess like which jokes you think are going to work and which ones aren't, and kind of like go through that experience with me, because it's kind of a I don't know, it's kind of a unique thing, I guess. So I don't know if you guys would be interested in that or not. I may do it anyways, but but if you guys want to see some stuff like that, just let me know because I'm always open to to really sharing almost any aspect of things that I'm doing and stuff. Just because it's kind of fun. That's what YouTube is to me. Is it's sharing experiences. That's kind of how I look at it. For some people, it's a lot of different things, but it's just, I don't know, it's just fun to me. I've been doing it so long that, I don't know, it almost feels like a part of me in a way, even though I don't necessarily have the greatest on-camera persona and all this kind of stuff, but I've been so involved in it. It's been such a big part of my life now. I can't almost imagine doing anything else. And it's fun. I enjoy it. It's great. It's a great thing. If you can do it, I would do it. It's great. Just like if you can drink some Macallan Scotch, do it. Not an endorsement, not an endorsement for Macallan at all. I don't think they would sponsor a half-assed gun channel. I don't think they would do that. Anyways, okay. I don't guess I had anything else I was going to talk to you guys about. As always, appreciate the help from Federal Champion. Not Federal Champion. Well, that is one of their brands, but Federal Cartridge Company, I should say. They really help us out with ammo and everything, and also SDI. Check them out at sdi.edu, and it really is a cool thing. I'm glad that they're kind of helping us out and everything because, like I was saying with the YouTube thing, there's not much better than finding a way to make money doing something that you would maybe do for free anyways. You know what I mean? So like in another life, honestly, I would probably consider being a gunsmith. That would definitely be something I would be interested in. I realize it sounds like a commercial, and I guess it sort of is, but I don't know. That's just kind of my take on it. That really is a cool thing. Where you go with them or or anything like that. Like if you love cars, consider being a mechanic for sure. Like that would be a great idea. Whatever it is that you love. Like it makes life so much better whenever you can make money doing something that also is kind of a hobby. It's just so much better. It's can be very difficult to do, but it's worth taking less money, to be honest. I think. Like if I just loved cars and that was just like my entire life was just cars. I loved cars. But I had the opportunity to maybe make more money, working in some, I don't know, some sales job or something like that was just not going to be that fun, but I could make more money and, if I make more money, I can have more fun on the weekends and stuff like that. But if you're not, but the thing is, most of the time you spend is going to be at work. So being able to just spend, a few hours on the weekend doing what you want is not going to make up for an entire week of just boredom and just, hating your life. Like I would rather take less money and do something that I really like because then I can just have fun all the time to an extent. Even if it's something you like, there's still going to be parts of it that are going to be kind of terrible, but still, it's just, I don't know, it's just better. And everybody knows this. I'm just kind of, going on a rant about that. But just from my experience where I've kind of looked into this YouTube thing and just really opened my eyes even more to just how important it is to do something that you really enjoy if you can. It's great. That's what life is all about. Just have fun, do some cool stuff along the way, try to make the world a better place. What else can you ask for? Anyways, I'll quit yakking and I'll see you guys on another video.